Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
A conch shaped like an elephant's head, the crest of the former ruling family of Travancore, merging the oceans with the forests, symbol of a princely inheritance.
We are in Thiruvananthapuram or Trivandrum, capital of the leaf-green state of Kerala, washed by the Arabian Sea. Trivandrum is a city of impressive buildings spanning the ages. They have been drawn from a wide spectrum of architectural styles. Here, the old and the new coexist in graceful harmony. So for that matter do men, and women, shielded apparently by cool umbrellas of tolerance.
Not far from this church and mosque is the revered old Padmanabhapuram temple, open to Hindus only. Built in the soaring Dravidian style, scholars have remarked on the similarities between such Dravidian temples, the pyramids of Egypt, and the stepped temples of Central America. As in most shrines of the past and the present, vendors offer a variety of wares to visitors because shrines are social centers. This was probably also true of the shrine fronted by the great bath of the Indus Valley's Mohenjo-daro.
A short walk from the temple in Trivandrum's East Fort is the CVN Kalari Sangam, dedicated to the martial art of Kalaripat. Here, in the Kalari, the teacher-student relationship is a revered tradition. The Kalari is a shrine, not merely a gymnasium, presided over by Shiva and Shakti atop the seven-stepped altar. We spoke to the Kalari's guru, C.V. Govindan Kotinaya, and his son. Above him rose the portraits of his father and grandfather.
This is one of the oldest martial art because it comes from the Vedic period, and we believe that Lord Parashurama is the originator of this form, and he taught his 21 disciples to protect the land of Kerala when he brought it out of the sea.
Students go through a series of limbering exercises to keep their bodies extremely flexible. Training starts as early as 8 years, but older students are also accepted. A number of weapons are used by Kalaripat experts, and some scholars believe that Kalaripat could be the common ancestor of all the martial arts of Asia. If this is true, then these skills were probably carried from India by missionary Buddhist monks. Get in touch with the Kalari if you want to see all this.
Trivandrum's beautiful government art museum is, architecturally, a synthesis of cross-continental influences. It draws from the heritage of both Britain and Kerala and was built in 1880 by the local king, Ramavarma of Travancore. It was originally called the Lord Napier Museum. Clearly, Many traditional skills went into its construction, including the secrets of knitting together a complex cat's cradle of interlocking beams and rafters. Among the fascinating exhibits displayed here are its masks from Southeast Asia. These could have been derived from Indian prototypes. This Buddha is from Burma. These porcelain stools and a wooden chest are of Chinese origin.
In the same campus as the Government Art Museum is the Sri Chitra Art Gallery. It is housed in a tiled cottage once occupied by the guests of the kings of Travancore. There is a particularly fine collection of the works of 19th century painter Raja Ravi Varma. This remarkable man was a self-taught artist. He was also the first Indian to use oils and give a three-dimensional perspective to his works. Single-handed Raja Ravi Varma changed the course of Indian painting. At long last, Raja Ravi Varma is beginning to get the recognition he deserves, almost a century after he died.
Visitors who come to the Sri Chitra Art Gallery often walk around the zoo next door.
Another popular outing of an evening is the so-called Veli Lagoon, about 9 kilometers from Trivandrum. This is really an estuarine park, where visitors can hire boats of various types for a ride on the backwater.
You can get to Trivandrum by rail and road and air. International flights from Sri Lanka, the Maldives, the Gulf and Singapore also land and take off from Trivandrum. There are a number of hotels. This state-run one has a wide spectrum of rooms starting from 1,595 rupees for this suite. For the budget conscious, there are comfortable rooms like these at 350 rupees non-AC double.
And for those who want to escape to the cool heights, briefly, there's the mountain hamlet of Ponmudi, 61 kilometers away and 1,000 meters higher than sea level Trivandrum. On the way up, we saw women cleaning green cloves, often called long. Clove oil is extracted from its twigs. Tucked into its Shola ravine forests and grass hills is a basic tourist complex.
This is essentially an outdoorsy nature lover sort of place. Happily, it is free of noise, pollution and compulsive things to do. You needn't do anything at all except unwind and watch a sparrowhawk hovering on the warm wings of a thermal. The more energetic could trek in the gentle grass hills. The wind is brisk, the views stretch to the blue horizon. The more indolent could ruminate with the slow, grazing somber deer and let the rest of the world go by.
Princes and princesses of Travancore could have escaped here from their palaces in the plains.
One such palace, 54 kilometers from Trivandrum and on the road to the southern tip of India, is the beautiful wooden complex of Padmanabhapuram. Excellently maintained in its original form, this former royal dwelling is a treasure of Keralan architecture. Its multiple gables circulate passing breezes to cool the rooms. Wooden louvers keep out the rain and sun but let in diffused light. Sanded courts allow hot air to rise, draw cool air into the palace. Rare ruby mica decorates the windows. This cool floor in the audience hall is made of a secret plaster of coconut shell charcoal, lime and white of egg. Even the beams and pillars are works of art. This pillar has been carved out of a single log and is in the mother's palace. The royal ladies relaxed here before walking down to the dance hall. Carved stone pillars rise around this hall. And when His Royal Highness felt unwell, he slept on the therapeutic bed made of a number of fragrant medicinal woods. It also had the universal symbol of medicine. And here, in a revered upper chamber, lies the legendary sword of Marthandavarma, the 18th century prince who founded the Travancore dynasty. Once a year, this sword is taken to Trivandrum, where it is carried in procession by the head of the House of Travancore to the Padmanabha Swami temple.
On a more unwinding note, the former rulers of the state built themselves a bathhouse and a palace on the Arabian Sea beach of Kovalam, 16 kilometers out of Trivandrum. Today, this scimitar-shaped beach is often referred to as India's place in the sun. A hotel, cut like giant steps into a cliff, rises at one end of the beach. Rooms here cost 2,600, AC double. In another hotel, the tariff is 960. Other accommodation is also available to suit all budgets.
Orchids like these are grown in a farm not far from Trivandrum. These are ground-growing terrestrial orchids. Epiphytic orchids grow on trees. And the sea-born clouds of these coastal lands make them grow well.
Next morning, we drove 88 kilometers down, past Padmanabhapuram Palace, to the southern tip of India. Here, an ocean, a sea, and a bay meet, and the legends cluster like shells. This is Kanyakumari, which some people call Cape Comorin, in the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu.
On these wave-washed rocks, beyond the southern tip of the mainland, missionary Swami Vivekananda was inspired to carry the message of Hinduism to the world. Today, you can board a ferry and make the short trip across if the sea is not too restive. People from all over make this 5-minute crossing. The only statue in the monument atop this flight of steps is that of the great missionary. Swami Vivekananda's guru was the powerful mystic Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. The rock memorial was built very strictly in accordance with the ancient disciplines governing the construction of such revered shrines.
This arc describes the positions of sunrise throughout the year. If you stand here, as Swami Vivekananda did on Christmas Day 100 years ago, there is nothing ahead of you except the Indian Ocean and the cold white wastes of Antarctica. If you look landwards, you will see the distant mountains that are the eastern backbone of India. A striped wall protects the temple of the Virgin Goddess Kanyakumari. She was to marry the Lord of Suchindram temple, 13 kilometers away.
The Suchindram temple is rich with sculptures and idols. Raja Rama Varma stands here because Suchindram was part of his state. The Chinese probably traded with Travancore at that time. These stone pillars sound like musical instruments when struck. This huge, enraged Hanuman is normally cooled by sandalwood paste. Leaving all the wonders of his temple palace, the Lord of Suchindram set out from here to wed the beautiful Kanyakumari. Sadly, he was tricked into returning here before he met her.
Today she lives alone in her temple by the sea. Visitors flock in and out. They come in by rail and road. And if you want to stay in Kanyakumari, there is accommodation to suit all pockets. Visitors delight in the sea. After which they shop for her treasures. They visit the Gandhi Mandap, where the ashes of the Mahatma rested before they were immersed in the sea.
In the late evening, everyone assembles on the beach. There is a tingle of excitement in the air. Then, across the wide screen of the sea and sky, the great show begins. Slowly, our minds take wing on the spell of a legendary garden city.